Halo guys, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Raihan Ramadan. In this opportunity, I want to explain about the principle of teyl and slow learner and fast learner, and then active learner and passive learner. Okay, without further ado, let's check it out. I want to explain about principle of teyl. For the first, there are implicit learning. Implicit learning is learning that occurs without awareness that is happening. It simply means that a person can acquire knowledge without the implicit intent or realization of doing so. For example, implicit learning, when we learn basically can be naturally. For the second, there are contextual learning. Contextual learning is a learning system that stimulates the brain to construct patterns that embody meaning. Learning that fits the brain that generate meaning by connecting academic content with the knot of everyday life. Okay, for the next, there are learner center. A learner center approach views learners as active agents. They bring their own knowledge, past experience, education, and ideas, and this impact how they take on board new information and learn. It differs significantly from a traditional instructor-centered approach. Yeah, there are any example of student-centered learning include allowing experiential learning, inquiry-based learning, experimental design, and play in the classroom. Okay, for the next, there are meaningful learning. As PPT, we can read about explanation. Meaningful learning. Meaningful learning refers to the concept that the learner knowledge, let's say a fact, is fully understood by the individual and that the individual knows how that specific fact relates to other stored fact. For example, learning the times table is a rote learning example. It involves memorizing sums through practice and repetition. That's an explanation of principle, and we move on to the next material. The next material is slow learner and fast learner and how to deal with them. Okay, for the first, I will explain about the slow learner. What is slow learner? Slow learner is typical someone who takes longer than average to acquire new knowledge or skills compared to their peers. This term is often used in the context of education to describe students who struggle with academic progress and a slower pace. However, it's important to note that labeling someone as a slow learner can be subjective and may not fully capture an individual's abilities or potential for growth. Each person learns at their own pace, and it's essential to provide appropriate support and tailored learning strategies to help individuals reach their full potential. And then the next material is fast learner. What is fast learner? Fast learner is an individual who quickly and easily acquires new knowledge or skills. They have the ability to grasp concepts rapidly, retain information effectively, and apply their learning efficiently. Fast learners often demonstrate a higher level of cognitive processing, such as strong analytical and problem-solving skills, excellent memory, and a keen ability to make connection between different ideas or subjects. Okay, how to deal with slow and fast learner? Dealing with slow and fast learners involves recognizing their unique needs and providing appropriate support and strategies to help them success. There are some general approaches to consider. For the first, there are individualized instruction. Recognize that each learner has unique strength, weakness, and learning styles. Tailor your instruction to accommodate their specific needs. Provide extra support and resources for slow learner, such as additional explanation, example, and practice opportunities. For the second, the first learner, implement different instruction to cater to diverse learning needs within the same classroom. For the third, there are small group or one-on-one instruction. Allocate time for individual or small group instruction to address the specific needs of slow learners. For the fourth, there are flexibility and adaptability. Be flexible in your teaching approach to accommodate both slow and fast learners. Allow extra time for slow learners to process information and complete tasks. Okay, the fifth, there are regular assessment and feedback. Regularly assess the progress of all learners to identify their strength, weakness, and areas for improvement. Okay, guys, maybe enough from me. Sorry for mistake. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, for the first material is active learner. What is active learner? Active learner is an individual who takes an active and engaged role in their own learning process rather than being passive recipient of information. Active learners actively seek out knowledge, ask questions, participate in discussion, and apply what they learn to real life situation. Okay, for the second material is passive learner. What is passive learner? Passive learner is an individual who takes a more passive or receptive role in the learning process. They tend to rely heavily on the information present to them without actively engaging in critical thinking, reflection, or application of knowledge. Okay, for the material is how to deal with them. For the first, for active learners, there are 3 tips how to deal with them. For the first, provide opportunities for inquiry and exploration. Encourage active learners to pursue their curiosity by providing opportunities for independent research, project, or presentation. Offer research and guidance to support their deeper exploration of topics of interest. For the second, there are foster collaborative learning, facilitate group work and discussion where active learners can share their ideas, perspective, and knowledge with their peers. Okay, for the third, there are offer challenging tasks. Active learner drive on intellectual challenges, provide them with tasks and assignments that require critical thinking, problem solving, and application of knowledge. Okay, and then for passive learners, for the first, there are increased engagement. Incorporate active learner strategies such as hands-off activities, discussion, and interactive multimedia to increase participation and engagement. Use real-life example and practical application to make the content more relatable and interesting. Okay, for the second, there are provide clear expectation and support. Clearly communicate learning objective, expectation, and the relevance of the material to passive learners. Break down complex concepts into manageable chunks and offer guidance and support through the learning process. Okay. For the last, there are encourage question and discussion. Create a safe and inclusive environment where passive learners feel comfortable asking questions and participate in discussion. Okay guys, there's an explanation about slow learner and fast learner. And then we can move on to the next material is active and passive learning and how to deal with them.